Henry, I'm glad you came. God be with you, Henry.
Welcome, Henry. God save you, Henry.
Are you serious? How are you, Henry? Hey, watch it! Folk, please. God save you, Henry. Welcome, Henry.
Be a bit more careful.
Good day, Henry. How are you, Henry? God save you, Henry. God be with you, Henry. Hey, Henry's come to see us.
I'm honored.
There was pressure.
That's how it goes in war. But God stood by us.
Well, they're apt to wait till a man nips off into the bushes to relieve himself, lifts up his chainmail tunic and...
Because you know just who you're up against.
Something...
A few of them have taken to their heels. If they stop in Kuttenberg, I'll be glad enough.
If those were the best of Istvan's men, they could be lurking in the woods. They'll probably wait to attack.
My fear exactly. I won't until Toth is hanging from the gate.
Of course, Sir Robert. Would you like me to bring back their gear as a...
That's not necessary. I trust you, Hal. You don't even have to do the killing, just let me know where... Good day, Henry.
Divish said...
Sir,
Sir Divish said you tell me what happens...
We're going to watch Istvan ship
That's all.
for a few days at least. So if you have anything to attend to, now's the time. Just don't forget to come back.
Henry,
What's the problem, sir?
the Archbishop's vicar has come to Uzhitz. I don't know why exactly, but the rumor is that he's on the...
I'm sorry, but I'm not really up on religious rank.
You don't have to apologize. It's the devil's own work to make sense of their twisted hierarchy. The vicar is...
I see.
In this case, sadly, the superior in question is that nincompoop.
What should I do about him then?
Firstly, find out why he's really here. He might truly be on the hunt for heretics, which wouldn't be good news. Or it's equally possible.
I understand.
The best thing for me and all concerned would be for him to pack his bags and go back to Prague.
And how can I, encourage him to do that?
No, of course not. But if you can make him believe there's nothing to find here...
I understand. And my...
Indeed.
Very well.
Good luck, lad. And be careful. Clergymen are wily, we...
I'll be careful. Don't worry.
God be with you, Henry.
Greetings.
How do you like...
How do I like him? As if it's not...
I understand.
Those boulders could hit my wife. And if they don't get her, the gunpowder could burn her to death alone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know how you feel. I feel much the same. When we're done, what state will my castle be in? What will I do if the worst...
We made it in the...
We failed. That serpent from Valdic gave us the slip. I should have known he'd have his fingers in it.
Would you kill him?
Maybe. But before that, I'd throw him in the dungeon for a few years. See how much he enjoys it. Still, just thinking about it gets my gall. And my arms killing.
How do you like my... I understand.
I'm...
This won't take long.
Is that the best?
Yeah! You fucking dog!
Good health to you.
What do you want here?
God save, Monsignor. My name's...
Sir Hamish.
I'm to assist you in your search.
Oh, I see. How considerate of him. Well, you've come at the right... I'm sure Sir Hamish told you what I'm doing here.
He said you're looking for...
Exactly. I'm seeking out the sores that inflict the body of the church. The rash of heretics.
How can I help you then?
Excellent. Let's get right to the... I know how to get to where the heretics congregate.
And what's stopping you from going there, sir?
That is to say, I know it. The crux of the matter is this. We caught a heretic in Gutenberg who told us of the heretics in Ushitz. Regrettably, by the time he got around to describe...
I see. So do you know where...
Possibly. His account was confused, to say the least.
Naturally, Father. Otherwise...
I see. It's a good thing at least the servants of the nobility are getting us. Here's the record of the interrogation.
I'll do my best, Father. Well, I'm not from...
That's good, because the last thing I need is... And they don't trust me either. But you're an ordinary lad with a likable face. If a bit...
You flatter me, Monsignor. Are there any suspects?
Everyone is a suspect. You can be sure of that.
How did you conclude?
We caught one in Gutenberg. He confessed to everything, including...
And that was all he told you?
By the end, all his strength had left him, so he couldn't even put together a list.
But that doesn't necessarily mean any of them are from Uji.
That is indeed possible. But
Who are...
really? Then you've either not been paying attention in church, or the parish priest in Ratai is too idle to... Both possibilities are equally disturbing, but I'll allow you the benefit of the doubt. But to answer your question, it's a heretic...
I gathered that much. But what form...
Look, boy, I don't have time right now to embark on theological disputation.
Very well. I'll get work.
God be with you.
Hey, watch it, lout.
God be with you.
We men are like little kids. What are you doing?
God be with you.
This won't take long.
Hey, watch it.
I can't leave now. I still have obligations here.
Ellie.
Seems I found it. A cross, nicely carved. Someone in the village might recognize it.
God's sake.
I'm looking for the owner of...
No, I don't. But why?
Thanks. I'll ask.
I hope I can be of...
The village folk said you consecrate the crosses they keep at home.
Indeed I do.
I was just wondering if you could remember who owns this one.
I could, but I might not want to tell you.
Why?
People said they saw you talking with a vicar. They're afraid that Sir Hanu sent you.
That's not how it is.
And how is it?
Sir Hanu sent me to find out what he wants, and to get him out of here if possible.
Well, then we share the same interest. But I'd still prefer it to end with nobody.
You and me, but
That's good to hear. Where did you find the cross?
let's do a deal. I'll tell you where I found it, and you tell me who's it.
Very well.
I found it in the woods. It looked like people met there. There were other things, candles,
Damn it. That really did.
that the vicar is right to be looking here. Surprised me, too.
The cross is definitely the Bowers, I remember that. But that just can't be. I can't believe it. If they really are heretics...
What do you want to do?
I don't know. But I'll do anything in my power to prevent a heretic witch hunt taking...
I see. It wouldn't make...
My thoughts exactly. But the question still remains what to do about it. You know what, boy? Before we do anything else, we ought to make sure...
What do you propose?
That's simple. Listen to how they say their...
What good will that do?
Prayers are sacred to all Christians, heretic or devotee. But if they are heretics, they're bound to...
And how would...
Don't you know how true Christians pray?
I suppose so.
What good will that...
Prayers.
That makes sense. But how can I listen to their private prayers?
Certainly not. In the church, they'd pray the youth. I know they meet at the farm in the evening with all the domestics. They'll surely be praying.
All right, but how...
I don't know. Crouch beneath the window? Climb up in the...
What do you know?
When I think about it now, they're a little...
What do you mean?
Well, they do rather keep themselves to themselves. They attend Mass, true enough. They leave the moment it's over. And I've never seen them at a dance or a celebration of any kind. But on the other hand, they give more alms to the needy in the village than anyone. I can't deny them that.
Where did those...
I don't really know. I've never spoken to them much.
And the crop?
No. It belonged to the family who lived on the farm before them.
Right.
What's going on there?
Stealing! Watch out! A thief!
Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are bound to receive from thy bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. They took old Wenzel to the presbytery today. His farm is nearby. It's only a matter of time before...
Before they come for me. I know.
And what are we going to do about it? That vicar is baying for blood, the beast. He will devour you alive.
I do not intend to do anything about it. I shall not waver from my faith, nor turn my back on it.
My dear, what on earth are you saying?
If they come for me, I will go quietly. And I will not lie.
Are you serious? Don't you know what they'll do to you?
I can well imagine. But I am resolved.
The Lord have mercy.
Do not fear. I surrender to God's will. And I do not condemn you if you decide to leave.
I'll stay by your side, although I'd rather that you decided otherwise.
I know. And you have no fear, my brothers in Christ. Stay true to God's plan, as I shall. Go and spread the true faith amongst all good folk.
I'm sorry. I wish there was another way.
You should eat your supper and depart right away. Who knows? He may come for us at dawn.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
My humble greetings.
So, I went to...
Do tell.
They most certainly are heretics. At least as far as I can tell.
Are you sure?
Well, for a start...
That is certainly unusual, but nothing conclusive.
But that's not all. They're afraid the...
Who wouldn't fear that? That swine finds...
Well, it's not like you'd have to try too hard. Mrs. Bauer plans to confess everything.
Confess what?
Most likely her faith. The people of the farm were trying to discourage that, but her mother...
Oh, good lord, that's all I need.
I don't know, but we have to help...
You're quite right. You have to talk them out of it, Hal. You...
Convince them? That's easy for you to say.
I'm sure you'll find a way. You have to try at least. For their own good and...
You're right.
I'm glad you see it that way. Now hurry. You never know when the vicar might...
Get the hell out of here. There's nothing here for you. Can you hear me? Hey, who's there?
Shit. Sod off.
Mistress Bauer?
What is it you need?
I've come to ask something.
Have you?
That doesn't matter. The important thing...
I admit that I'm a little confused. You've come to ask me something?
I want to ask you not to confess to the vicar. Just take your husband and get out of here while there's still time.
I have no idea why you're so taken with my fate, or how you found out about my intentions. But I'll tell you one thing. Changing my mind is out of...
You speak of your brothers in Christ, but what about the...
What of them? Most of them are idle.
Maybe they aren't folk after your own heart, but does that mean they aren't worthy of salvation?
I'm just describing, not judging them. That judgment does indeed...
But if you confess, all those people will be in danger. God knows how many of them will end up burned at...
The vicar will be the one to send them to the flames, not I.
No, but you can prevent more sinning. Isn't that your mission? To keep people from...
You may be right, but I can't lie. It's against all my teaching.
You won't have to lie if you're never asked any questions. Just leave. You can preach elsewhere. I'm sure you have lots of friends who'd love to take you in.
But I don't want to run.
No one wants to run away, but sometimes we have no choice. If you run, your faith will live on. That must mean something.
You're right. I shouldn't give in so easily. I've just grown so weary of the end.
You should pack up and run away as soon as you can.
Thank you.
Don't delay.
Good day, Henry. Henry, I'm glad you came.
God be with you, Henry.
Come here! Yeah!
You awesome!
What the hell was that? Is there something you need? God Almighty.
I'm honored that you should come.
Hey, watch it. Welcome, Henry.
I'm here.
Can't you see we're still bombarding?
Hey!
I'm glad you came. Welcome, Henry.
God be with you.
I hope I can be of... hope I can...
Greetings.
Jesus Christ.
What is it then?
It's what? You heard?
I'm not... What's eager, huh? Pleased to meet you.
In short?
Who am I?
I'll slaughter you!
Don't move! Give me all you have. Ah!
What is it? God's sake, be a bit more careful.
Hey, who's there?
If anybody sees me here, it'll be all over town tomorrow. Hey, you there. Are you gonna have...
What are you
May
staring
the Lord
at?
watch
The
over
baths
you.
are for paying guests, not
Get
idlers
lost.
with nothing better to do.
Welcome, Henry.
Good health to you, Henry.
God be with you, Henry.
Greetings, Henry. God save
trees
Henry.
like that. Aye, but better to save a few if I can.
Here, enjoy.
I'm interested.
And what is it?
I'll certainly.
I'm sure you'll be
I'm interested.
Uh-huh. I'm sure you'll be extreme. Good health to you, Henry.
What are you doing?
Why do you ask?
I ask.
Well, I'm certainly.
In that case, you...
Certainly.
Hey! Henry! Hey! Watch it! I'll remember you. Be a bit more careful! How are you, Henry?
Since Sir Divish's collar's still up.
Just so. That Ishtvan's are stubborn.
All right.
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, you won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or...
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on two fronts. The north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer wall, the inner bailey.
How will we take the battlement?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate will help.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer... The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop. To anyone with a bow on the inner battle. We'll have to either fight our way through, or summon.
What about the living?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside, Ishtvan will know defeated.
How are we going to...
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the trebuchet first. Keezer claims he can even hit it. Even if that's true, we'll have to charge through...
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. It's dealing with the defense.
And what's the plan?
First, we have to get men to the wall, which is no easy matter under fire. So we'll leave... As soon as the ladders are in place, our foot soldiers, once a few of them get to the battlement.
I think I've...
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the...
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup, and as God is my witness, we will kick...
A village lad and an old soldier? This man must be shaking in his boots.
Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. We have to take the castle gradually. One position.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanush.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, we're all noblemen here. All bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks his truce answers to me.
So, are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor!
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then, he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish!
Stephanie.
Forgive me, husband. I'm sorry.
For what?
For letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Scallops. Mount up, Henry. You've heard what he'll do if we follow them. We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
What will you do now?
Not long ago, I only made plans 3 days ahead at most. Maybe I really could do something for Rate and his people. Something really big. Quite a turnaround, isn't it?
What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that. What should I say to her?
Don't worry. It'll come to you. You'll see.
Well, I just hope he'll be there. Alive.
Where you found the lock? Sneaking into Brannick all on your own? Well, what I mean is, hats off to you, Hal. You wouldn't catch me doing that.
Truth is, I didn't think much about it. I just felt I had to do it.
There's no sign of them. Move on. There! I'm glad to see Ishban kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
You all right, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, I mean Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
Well, he knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah. The sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Don't go.
Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzig wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away. What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
Be a bit more careful. Good day, Henry. Jesus, look.
Hey! Welcome.
Oh, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas has invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergov, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghoff is on your side? Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts. And now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, Your Grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war!
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghoff at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Henry?
I expect it would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lipa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue. The question is how. We need to learn where they stand on liberating the king and ousting Sigismund. If they'll make trouble or join our side, but...
But we have to ask in a way that won't leave Sir Capon being run out of the castle with a whip.
Exactly.
How about writing that you're concerned about current events and that you want to see things settled peaceably? And then ask the opinion of the League of Lords.
Very well said, sir.
So, what do you think of Margrave Jobst, Bernard?
From what I've heard about him, I wouldn't trust him if he told me rain was wet.
I feel the same. It's never wise to trust a man who's turned his coat more than once.
Exactly. And I don't buy that business with Prokop. He double-crossed his own brother, and the rest is just his cover-up.
On the other hand, if anyone has a chance to oust Sigismund and keep the nobility on his side, it has to be Jobst.
And a large part of the Bohemian nobility. Whether they plan to take action against them or support their efforts.
Read my thoughts, sir.
So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish?
I think I don't know what to think.
That makes two of us.
If I didn't know anything about Jobst, I'd say he's right and absolutely truthful. But I've heard too much about him already.
Likewise. But I do feel he's the one with the best chance to put things right.
Well, we'll see what we learn from Bergov. If the League of Lords stands with Sigismund, then our chances pale, in spite of everything Jobst said.
We shall see. We shall see. So, it looks like you're off on...
Yes.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention...
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov...
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the fun... It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough.
Who is he really?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. But he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to...
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas.
Well, there's no straightforward... But he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. But you can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad...
Who is this Prokop that...
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years. Then, they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslas, politics. Make of it what you will.
The League of Lords and that Bergov were...
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghof, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined... But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way.
I don't know all that much.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with... And now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no...
Rupert of the Palatinate?
Rupert is the Prince-Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince...
The Prince-Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the... Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into... So, now we have two kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund.
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to... Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governance, but instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for... Wenceslas also had another brother.
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein.
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family, with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits... Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful...
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter...
God be with you, lad. What can I...
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Come now, Hal. My men are mustered in the courtyard. We can get going. God bless you.
How do you feel?
Pissed off. I'd give anything to have seen you.
I remember the first time it happened.
But that was when you were a young...
That's how it goes.
But Master... I hope so. Damn! Hey! Watch it! Be a bit more careful.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
So, can we set off now, Henry?
Of course.
So, to horse! The Lord of Berghoff is bound.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
about it, Henry? Can we...
Of course.
Quite. Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that whoreson who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I've a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!